Tonight on SUTV News, the battle for the Oval Office heats up as debates are underway.
And Shippensburg University launches the second Anti-Racism Institute in Pennsylvania.
All that and more right here on SUTV News. Shippensburg University is working to build a center for students, faculty, and the community to bring everyone together and break away at racial barriers. The idea of this hub is to get everyone to engage in talks about race, and they come together to brainstorm solutions. Stephanie A. Gerard is one of the 4 professors at Shippensburg that's helping launch the new institute. The idea of this Anti-Racism Institute came from the university's president, Lori Carter. This is the second institute of its kind at a Pennsylvania state university. Gerard said, quote, "Not to rewrite history, but to get the common place where we are all in this together. Our safety and security, prosperity, happiness, and the liberty is all of us in this country together. Working through these issues, and that's what's missing," end quote. They hope to have this institute up and running by the fall of 2021.
This Tuesday marked the first presidential debate against President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden, and it was an interesting night to say the least. SUTV's Adam Beam has your recap.
Will you shut up, man?
Listen,
this is so unprecedented.
There's nothing smart about you, Jim.
If you expected this year's presidential election against President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden to be intense, then Tuesday night certainly affirmed those feelings as the first presidential debate got underway. Moderated by Fox News anchor Chris Wallace, the 2 candidates were asked to debate issues involving COVID-19, racial injustices and police violence, mail-in ballots, the economy, and more. However, no matter what the topic of discussion was, every segment was filled with heavy bickering and accusations as each candidate continuously talked over the other, at many points forcing Wallace to raise his voice.
No, sir.
With $1 billion, if you
that
get rid of
is
the
absolutely
you know what, you're
not
Stop.
true.
You're going to have
True.
Gentlemen, I hate to raise my voice, but it seems to be, why shouldn't I be different than the 2 of you?
The night began with talk of replacing the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Trump expressed that they have the right to choose whoever. This is in reference to nominee Amy Coney Barrett, while Biden believed that a nominee should not be selected till after the new president is sworn in. This then transitioned to the Affordable Care Act and arguments of pre-existing conditions. Biden expressed concerns for the 100 million Americans affected with pre-existing conditions, while Trump claimed that that wasn't the case, with him expressing that he would lower drug prices by 80 to 90% when asked about his plan to replace Obamacare. Of course, with COVID-19 looming over the debate, each candidate taking shots at the other's plan to fight the virus.
We got the gowns, we got the masks, we made the ventilators. You wouldn't have made ventilators, and now we're weeks away from a vaccine. We're doing therapeutics already. Fewer people are dying when they get sick.
The president has no plan. He hasn't laid out anything. He knew all the way back in February how serious this crisis was. He knew it was a deadly disease. What did he do? He's on tape as acknowledging he knew it. He said he didn't tell us or give people a warning of it because he didn't want to panic the American people. You don't panic. He panicked.
This discussion then bled into talks of the military, with Trump bringing up Hunter Biden, both his past drug issues as well as Hunter's relations with Chinese interlocutors. Biden would get his turn to question Trump, with him asking about Trump continuously denying recent reports of him only paying $750 in tax returns, as well as him refusing to release years of tax returns to the public.
Will you tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017?
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars,
So
yes.
not 750?
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it.
Following that, the candidates were then asked about the country's ongoing racial tensions. This debate coming just days after a grand jury voted to not charge any of the officers involved in the shooting death of Breonna Taylor. The most notable moment of this segment being President Trump sidestepping around Wallace's request for him to condemn white supremacists.
Who would you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud Boys, stand back and stand by, but I'll tell you what.
To close out the night, each candidate was asked to discuss the integrity of this year's election.
I am urging my people. I hope it's going to be a fair election. If it's a fair
You're urging
election,
them what?
I am 100% on board. But if I see tens of thousands of ballots being manipulated, I can't go along with that. And I'll tell you what,
does that
from
mean,
a common
not go along?
sense,
Does that mean
I'll
you're going
tell
to
you
tell
what
your
it means.
people to take to the
It means
street?
you have a fraudulent election.
The fact is, I will accept it, and he will too. You know why? Because once the winner is declared, after all the ballots are counted, all the votes are counted, that'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of it.
The debate certainly was a night filled with interruptions, heated back and forth, and memorable moments, to say the least. And it will be interesting to see how this debate affects the polls moving forward, as well as the rest of the debates to come in the following weeks. The vice presidential debates between Mike Pence and Kamala Harris is set for October 7th. The second presidential debate will be in the form of a town hall meeting and is set for October 15th. And the final presidential debate before election night will be October 22nd. For SUTV News, I'm Adam Beam.
In the crucial battleground state of Pennsylvania, the two frontrunners for the White House have been spending lots of time in the Keystone State. Recently, President Trump took another trip to PA and held a campaign rally in Middletown. SUTV's Tyler Danceson has a recap of the event.
Thousands of Trump supporters came out to Middletown, Pennsylvania last Saturday in anticipation in seeing the president speak at a Keep America Great rally. Saturday's rally was President Trump's second campaign event in the Keystone State in the past week. According to a recent poll from the University of Wisconsin, Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden has the lead in Pennsylvania by 5 points. President Trump landed at Harrisburg International Airport just past 7:30 in Air Force One. Trump kicked off the rally with several shots at his 2020 opponent and emphasized his accomplishments during his time as president.
I did more in 47 months than Sleepy Joe Biden did in 47 years. It's true. It's true.
Some COVID-19 precautions were also in place as hand-washing stations were set up across the airport. Temperature screenings were also required to anyone entering the rally. Throughout the president's speech, he listed off his accomplishments over the time in the White House and has named some future missions to space.
America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars very soon.
President Trump also emphasized the need for education reform in public schools and teaching respect to America's youth once again.
We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag.
And finally, with just over 30 days until the 2020 election, President Trump finished off the night with a message of getting out and going to vote.
So get your friends, get your family, get your neighbors, get your co-workers, and get out and vote. Most important election we've ever had.
President Trump is back on the campaign trail throughout the weekend, holding rallies in Florida and Wisconsin on Friday and Saturday. From SUTV News, I'm Tyler Danceson.
President Donald Trump recently announced his nomination for the Supreme Court. SUTV's Nolan Hoffman has the story.
President Trump didn't take long at all to select Judge Amy Coney Barrett as nominee for the Supreme Court. The offer was made on the same day the two met, which was less than 72 hours after Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. That's according to Barrett's Senate questionnaire, which was released last Tuesday. Although the invitation was given to Barrett, President Trump repeatedly told the press he was still considering candidates for the vacant slot. Barrett officially accepted the nomination on September 21st. On Wednesday, Judge Barrett met with Republican senators, including Mitt Romney and Tim Scott. When Barrett met with Romney, a reporter asked Romney, quote, should Barrett recuse herself from the election-related cases should she be confirmed? And here's what Romney had to say.
I'm not an active member of the bar, so I'm not going to respond to that. But I can say this, which is I've been looking forward to this for a long time. I went to law school, and professors like this, once upon a time professors like this, asked me a lot of questions, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to return the fire, to turn the tables, if you will, to ask a question or two of a former law professor. I'm really looking forward to our chance to speak. I'm sure we'll have a very interesting and informative opportunity to speak with each other. Thank you.
While meeting with Senator Tim Scott, a reporter asked a debate-related question asking, quote, "Do you find the president's refusal to condemn white supremacists last night concerning?" And here's what the senator had to say.
I think he misspoke in response to Chris Wallace's comment. He was asking Chris what he wanted to say. I think he misspoke. I think he should correct it. If he doesn't correct it, I guess he didn't misspeak.
According to The Hill, 22 Republican state attorneys generals called on the Senate to quickly confirm Judge Amy Coney Barrett in a letter Thursday. The letter dismisses the notion that there is not significant time remaining before the November presidential election to make a decision, noting that her predecessor, Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg, was confirmed in 42 days. It also cites the confirmation of Justice Sandra Day O'Connor within 33 days and of Justice John Paul Stevens within 19 days. None of the three were confirmed in presidential election years. With SUTV News, this is Nolan Huffman.
The latest proposal for a stimulus package is being slammed by the Republicans, but some of the Democrats still have hope. SUTV's Nolan Hoffman has the latest.
House Democrats' $2.2 trillion stimulus relief package is expected to come to a vote today.
I'm hopeful.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi spent Wednesday afternoon negotiating with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin. After leaving Pelosi's office, Secretary Mnuchin said progress was made, but they still don't have an agreement. Sources say Pelosi and Mnuchin still far apart on a deal.
Understand that it's important to proceed in a way that results in both meaningful relief for the American people.
The bill will then head to the GOP-controlled Senate, where it's already facing opposition.
The bill from the Speaker is no more serious than any of their political stunts going back months.
But as the negotiations continue on Capitol Hill, the pandemic continues to affect Americans and even sports. The NFL is postponing Sunday's game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tennessee Titans after Titans players and staff tested positive for the coronavirus.
Not an ideal situation, but like I said, this is the hand that we're dealt.
The league warning coaches there will be consequences if face coverings are not worn on the sideline.
Nobody's to blame. We're in a pandemic. Unfortunately, things happen.
With SUTV News, I'm Nolan Huffman.
The New York Times says it has obtained copies of President Trump's much sought-after tax returns. It reports the president paid no taxes in the 10 recent years because he claimed his businesses were floundering. The Times says President Trump paid $750 in federal income taxes the year he won the presidency, at $750 the first year in the White House. Before that, he did not pay taxes in 10 of the last 15 years. The Times reports Trump's properties are struggling and he has hundreds of millions of dollars in debt coming due. It also shows he's in an IRS audit battle that could cost him $100 million. The president calls the article fake news, and his attorney tells the paper he's paid tens of millions of dollars in, quote, personal taxes. According to the Times, Trump's finances are increasingly dependent upon the businesses that cause him a lot of political conflict of interest.
Cases of the coronavirus have increased significantly here at Shippensburg University. SUTV's Brianna Webb has more on what to do to stay safe.
As we enter the fall season, corona cases continue to increase. Last week here at Shippensburg University, there were 5 total cases that emerged over the current semester. Through this past week, cases continued to increase and bursted significantly higher. You can do your part on and off campus by following all COVID guidelines to stay safe and keep others around you secure. Make sure to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds with soap and water multiple times a day. Hand washing stations are still scattered all around campus for everyone's convenience. Carry sanitizer for when washing your hands is not accessible to you at the present moment. This is prominent after touching door handles, pressing buttons for the elevator, and many other activities that require human interaction every day. Remember to mask up. Keep a mask on at all times walking through campus, going into academic buildings, going into dining halls to gather food before seating, and through the hallways and lobbies of dorm halls. Get tested at the Eder Health Center on campus to check your status with COVID. Asymptomatic testing will be held by appointment, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Following these rules can help us all get through the rest of the semester. With your help, we could create a safe working and living environment for everyone. This is Brianna Webb, SUTV News.
As of today, SHIP is currently sitting at 16 active cases of COVID-19 with 22 cumulative.
For the past few weeks, California continues to fight against multiple ongoing wildfires that have now damaged more than 100,000 acres of land. SUTV's Adam Beam has the latest updates.
It was just about 3 weeks ago when a gender reveal party gone wrong ignited a massive blaze, and now mixed with another out-of-control wildfire slamming Northern California, over 100,000 acres of land have been destroyed, as well as 4 lives being lost in the process. The fires have now become part of California's most destructive wildfire season, with scientists pointing to worsening dry conditions of the vegetation being responsible for the difficulties firefighters now face to keep up with in order to fight the flames. The wildfires now are on a destructive path towards the famous wine country, as several prominent vineyards have already been destroyed. As of right now, firefighter and rescue crews are working endlessly to not only put a stop to the fires, but evacuate thousands from their homes in the process. However, it is still unclear just how far this destruction will reach and when we can expect an end to it. For SUTV News, I'm Adam Beam.
And finally tonight, staff at a zoo in Colorado is welcoming their newest addition. On Monday, Bailey the giraffe gave birth to her first calf at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. Officials say Bailey and the female calf are doing well. They have not measured how tall the newborn is or how much it weighs, but zookeepers say she is one of the smallest baby giraffes they have ever seen. The zoo plans to close the barn to give the new calf some time to bond with her mother. They plan to name her after they wait their traditional 30 days.
What a heartwarming way to end today's episode of SUTV News.
And may I say that giraffe had a great name.
And with that, we'll be signing off from this episode of SUTV News.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at SUTV News, and check out our website at sutvnews.org.
Have a great weekend, everyone.